As regular viewers of the channel will know, I am a long-term user and a huge fan of the Victorinox Swiss Army knife range of pocket knives, but, and I don't think I am alone here, I am beginning to feel somewhat abandoned by the brand. In this video, I want to look at the latest releases from Victorinox and look at what this says about the company and its current direction, and explain why I'm feeling let down by the brand which I love and which has played such a big part in my life over the past 40 years. As a brief bit of history, the very first Swiss Army knife, the Swiss soldier knife, was invented by the founder of Victorinox, Karl Elsner, in 1891 and was supplied under contract to the Swiss Army. And this led to the introduction a few years later of the officers' and sports knife, which went on open sale in 1897, aimed at officers and gentlemen. And it is this knife that is the predecessor of the Swiss Army knife we are all now familiar with. It was groundbreaking in the day in that it offered a range of fold-in daily use tools alongside a fold-in knife, all of which could easily fit in the pocket. And since then, the Swiss Army knife has evolved into the huge range of different models we see today, 127 years later. Now, for as long as I can remember, I have owned a Victorinox Swiss Army knife, and now I own quite a few, and I have one with me pretty much all of the time. In fact, it was my love of Victorinox and other leading brands such as Leatherman, and at the time Maglite flashlights, before they stopped innovating and lost their way, that were the driving force that led me to start a retail chain in the UK called The Gadget Shop, which went on to become over 50 high street stores, and at the time was one of the biggest retailers of, would you believe, Leatherman multi-tools and Victorinox Swiss Army knives. And new models would arrive each year, creating great excitement, and Victorinox even allowed us to create our own Gadget Shop Victorinox knife, which sold exclusively in our stores. So in short, the brand means a lot to me. So what's my problem? I mean, a quick glance at the website shows a huge range of Swiss Army knives, and it looks like there's something for everyone. Well, it looks to me like Victorinox are shifting their emphasis away from the Swiss Army knife, what I see as the heart of the business, and away from the loyal Swiss Army knife community, and that the business is moving instead more towards becoming a lifestyle brand. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the other sectors of the Victorinox businesses, the fragrances, the watches, and the luggage and travel gear, and I imagine the profitability of these sectors is an essential element of the overall business. But these elements of the brand are leveraging the spirit of adventure DNA created by the Swiss Army knife legacy built over the last 100 plus years, and it is that which gives the overall brand its relevance and credibility. And if you neglect the Swiss Army knife sector of the business, which I believe is what we are seeing right now, then the brand will start to lose its authority in the space, as it no longer is seen to walk the walk. And whilst there are arguably better and more established fragrance houses, watchmakers and travel gear manufacturers, the Victorinox Swiss Army knife currently has no equal when you look at the combination of choice, quality and price. And I say currently because Fox Knives, Rake, Switzer and others are now knocking on the door, and it looks to me like Victorinox are sleeping. So when I say neglect, what do I mean? Well, I've had this channel for just over 3 years now, so let's have a look at what new Swiss Army knives have emerged from Victorinox in that time. And I'm referring to new knives here, not say a limited edition model scale change or a different finish, or say a new Alox colour, which whilst always welcome each year, does not represent what I would call product evolution or innovation. So what do we have? Well, nothing springs to mind in 2021. Then in the summer of 2022, we saw the introduction of the Replica 1897, a limited edition replica of that knife which started it all. I have featured this on the channel. It is a superb piece of engineering, produced no doubt at some cost and effort, and it is a desirable collector's piece for those that can afford the $500 cost. It's a brand statement, a celebration of the past. It's not what I would call a Swiss Army knife for the everyday user. Then in the winter of 2022, we saw the introduction of the Off-White, a collaboration with a South Korean menswear brand. And this to me is an example of style over substance. It has a totally bespoke set of tools, the design of which is supposed to represent the shape of ancient tools from prehistoric times. And this would have been another time-consuming and costly production exercise. And this is another limited edition style statement, again not practical in use nor for the core Swiss Army knife user, and in limited numbers, and also not affordable at around, again, $500. Finally, and I mean that's all the Swiss Army knife innovation seen over the last 3 years, we have this one, which is called the Companion and was launched in late 2023. And this just scrapes in because it incorporates a new tool, and it comes in, and I quote, a choice of 3 fresh styles to express your feminine side. So I'm guessing I'm not the target market here, which is a bit of a shame because I actually quite like the tool set on offer, which I would say is worth a quick look, not least because as far as I can see, this is the only new general sale Swiss Army knife, ignoring colour and scale changes, to have emerged in the last few years. And what we have here is the main blade, but the secondary blade has been swapped for an effective nail file and nail cleaner. Then we have the great scissors and the usual bottle opener with large flathead screwdriver. And then we have this new tool with a small screwdriver and a box opener cutter in place of the rather outdated can opener, which I think is a great option and is the first new Swiss Army knife tool I've seen from Victorinox in these last 3 years. On the back, we have a useful awl and the old school parcel hook, which probably now needs a rethink, and a corkscrew, which is also becoming more of a question mark. We also have the pinhole here, but, and I can't fathom why, there is no pin included. Better news is that we have the plus scales giving you a pen, as well as the more usual toothpick and tweezers. This incidentally is the New York style, incorporating, we are told, a touch of fashion. Then there's also the Paris style, which offers, amongst other things, playfulness, and I kid you not, a touch of light sweetness. And then there is the Sydney style, which we are told offers a hint of freshness. Victorinox goes on to say, and again I quote, that style-conscious trendsetters now have the opportunity to match their favourite tool with their lifestyle and outfit of the day. Now, I don't know about you, but this does not speak to me as a die-hard Swiss Army knife fan. And whilst I understand there may be a desire to appeal to a more style-conscious feminine user, I would argue that this seems to be at the expense of the existing loyal core user base of the Swiss Army knife, men and women who value innovation and practicality over style. And it feels very wrong to me and potentially damaging to the brand to treat the Swiss Army knife like you would a fragrance. Also, there is a cost, it would seem, when it comes to expressing your feminine side. The Companion here in the UK cost me a whopping £80, so around $80, and I must admit I struggled to press the buy button knowing that an almost identical Victorinox Climber in what must be a less feminine red colour, or the white colour I have here, can be bought for just £25 from Victorinox's store on Amazon. You do, though, with the Companion, get a nicer box and a neck cord with this mini carabiner and jangly charm thing for your extra £55. No pin though, remember. Incidentally, Victorinox have also released the best-selling classic in the same 3 new colorways, but as we've already seen, the style conscious and the price conscious do not mix, as these will set you back £50, whereas you can choose from 10 solid colours of exactly the same knife, minus the nice box and jangly bits, for less than half that. So, just 3 new Swiss Army knives I can see over the last 3 years, 2 of which are for wealthy collectors, not users, and 1, it seems, is exclusively for those embracing their feminine side who are required to pay a premium price for the privilege. Leatherman, as a comparison in the same 3-year time frame, have constantly innovated, introducing a raft of new models. They've innovated through their Leatherman Garage program and launched the impressive, albeit pricey, Leatherman Arc, incorporating their free magnet technology and the first premium MagnaCut steel ever seen in a multi-tool. Victorinox used to have, in my view at least, the best multi-tool on the market in their Spirit X, but not anymore. Now, none of this would be an issue if Victorinox were supporting their vast worldwide Swiss Army knife community and fan base, the ones like me who've embraced the Swiss Army knife vision with a passion, often over many years, and helped to make Victorinox the global icon of preparedness we see today. The adventurers, the DIYers, the travellers and the everyday carriers, and all those that reach for their Victorinox Swiss Army knife several times a day with a smile. But we can see that support is not happening, at least not over the last 3 years. And that's why I use the words abandoned and neglected. And the reality is, it actually doesn't take much to keep us happy. A quick look at the forums or comments in the videos, like the ones on this channel, and it becomes clear what the users are looking for. And it's not a lot, but I don't think anyone at Victorinox is listening. Simply swapping out a corkscrew for a Phillips screwdriver on certain models will keep a lot of people very happy, or perhaps a better blade steel on a pro option, or maybe a rethink around some tools that have gone beyond their use by date. There is in fact so much that could be done at relatively low investment to keep the Victorinox Swiss Army knife community happy and the brand on top. Otherwise, competitors will come and they will be the ones who innovate, like we saw all those years ago when Maglite, the undisputed world leader in quality flashlights, ignored the emerging technology and what their users wanted, opening up the door to the likes of Nitecore, Olight, Phoenix, Immolent, and a raft of others who filled the void and ate their lunch. Now, if this video at all resonates with you, it would be really great if you could feed back in the comments below with your thoughts on this content and on Victorinox, and also your Swiss Army knife memories and experiences, and even your suggestions, in the hope that this video will find its way through to the powers that be. We have a great community here on this channel, and I believe your feedback will be a source of valuable insight for Victorinox should they choose to look at it. And I do know that this channel is seen within Victorinox, and that the channel has even been used to help with the teaching of English within the company. In fact, I had the pleasure of meeting a group of Victorinox engineers some time ago over a video call at the request of their English teacher. And it turns out most of those engineers have worked at the company all their lives. They are loyal, and it is clear they love the company they work for. In fact, the manufacturing still takes place in Eibach in Switzerland, where the company was founded all those years ago, and it is still run by the same Elsner family. So there is no doubt that this company is very special. And as I've said so many times before, the product quality is unmatched for a volume maker in this sector. And if Victorinox want to get in touch with a comment, or they feel I've been unfair in any way, then I would welcome contact from them too, and I will happily feed back on any response in a future video. And my hope now is that Victorinox turn their attention back to the Swiss Army knife and the global marketplace and fan base that made them what they are, and which gave rise to all the other elements of the business, and that we see new tools and new models and new innovations. If, however, the heart of the business, which I believe is the Swiss Army knife, is neglected, then there is no doubt that others will come to fill the void, and then the Victorinox brand credibility and authority in the space will become lost, leaving behind a Me Too lifestyle business that used to be so much more. I, for one, hope that will never happen, and I keep my fingers crossed for the future. Let me know your thoughts, and many thanks for watching.